Let's do a patch 14.3 tier list. So this is like solo queue tier list, just all elos, I guess. It's impossible to make a tier list that is accurate for every elo. I don't want to make two different tier lists, so this will try to be like relatively accurate for every elo, and I'll try to account for a little bit of everything.
Doesn't get better than this.
Okay, let's start with Aphelios. Aphelios is pretty mid. I think win rate wise, he's not too high. We'll be around somewhere around the bottom, as he always is. They nerfed his AD scaling a little bit. I think with Lethal, like with Collector, he's pretty nice, but they nerfed Collector as well. Has a lot of difficult matchups. Struggles into Ezreal, struggles into Jhin, struggles into Hwei, struggles into Varus. I think it's nice into Zeri, it's nice into Smolder, it's nice into Kalista, it's nice into Xayah. But people aren't really blind picking those champs, so put them into B tier. For me, Ashe, I'd say she's A tier. Not a crazy carry, very strong utility though, good on support as well. Rageblade buff I think helps her a little bit. I don't think Trinity Force is that good on Ashe. I'm not sure, but I have the idea that Trinity Force maybe is a bit bait on her, but win rate wise, maybe I'm wrong. I don't play much Ashe, to be honest. I think the champion is one of the most boring ADCs in the game. Maybe the most boring ADC in the game. So I only play Ashe if I have to. Like if she's the most broken ADC in the game. Which I don't think she is. I think she's better on support. And on ADC, she's just like, I'd say she's like A tier. If you're a good Ashe player, you can definitely carry. But your job is kind of to slow people down, provide vision, CC people with your ult. It's not a hyper carry by any means, you know. Senna, farming Senna I think is actually pretty good right now. Probably into B or A tier. I feel like just lethality items on her is pretty bonkers. And there's a lot of good supports you can play with her, like Maokai. Like if you have Maokai, you can either have the Maokai farming or the Maokai not farming, and both can be pretty viable. But I think I'd put her into B tier just because she's like kind of weird champ. So this is like solo queue tier list, just all elos, I guess. Usually I've always put Kalista pretty high, but I think probably for this one, I don't think Kalista is that high. I'll try to make it like relatively, like it's impossible to make a tier list that is accurate for every elo. I don't want to make two different tier lists, so this will try to be like relatively accurate for every elo, and I'll try to account for a little bit of everything. Some champions will be better in high elo, like Phyllis is better in high elo than he is in low elo. I think he's pretty mid in both elos right now. And then we got Draven. I think Draven, S or A. Draven is definitely up there. If you know what you're doing on Draven, he's really strong. I think he's good with lethality, and he's good into a lot of the champs on this list. If I was playing Draven, I would ban Varus, and everything else I think is pretty playable. And the lights turned off. This Hans Hammer build looks really interesting. Going like full lethality and then going Sundered Sky for the crit. Tried it one game, stomped on it. Not sure how good it is overall. Seemed pretty good though. I think you can substitute Yumus for Hubris if you're snowballing. For me, that would make sense because Yumus also got nerfed. Well, Hubris and Opportunity didn't. But overall, seems like a really solid build. Good with Halo Blaze. I think overall he's pretty good with Hubris and just lethality items in general. Got Ezreal. Ezreal got nerfed this patch, but I think he's still pretty good. He's either an A or S tier. Maybe S tier. He has a really high pick rate and still a fine win rate. I think you could definitely argue for S tier. I do think that he's one of... Okay, let's think about what are Ezreal's strengths. I mean, Essence got buffed on Ezreal, so I think Essence should be where you go most games now. It's now 60 AD. And Jhin got buffed as well, so it's cheaper. Ezreal is good because you can play with pretty much every support, which is perfect for solo queue because you never know what your support is going to play. And he can play into nearly every ADC. I'd say he's S tier. He has a high skill ceiling, so he's fun in that way. And can play into pretty much anything, and can play with pretty much anything, and can play into pretty much any team comp and with any team comp. Probably one of the most versatile ADCs in the game. Then we got Caitlyn, hovering between B or A for Kate. She has a lot of good matchups. I'd say A tier. I definitely do think she's better than these two champs that I put in B tier already. I think going like Stormmacer is bait. I think probably you should just go Collector or Yumus first, or Opportunity first. I think could be good as well. Then we got Kaisa. I think Static first could be the tech. I think she's still lacking. I think I have to put her in B tier. I don't think I can argue for A tier. Because, like, what matchups would I want to play Kaisa into? I'd want to play her into Ezreal, maybe. But I wouldn't really want to play her into Ashe, Caitlyn, or Draven. And I wouldn't really want to play her into Aphelios or Senna. For now, I think hovers high B tier. We got Jhin. Jhin, I think, rests easily. I feel comfortable putting Jhin into S tier. I think he's better than Ashe and Kate. I think he's just, like, really good with lethality items. And lethality items got nerfed, but they didn't get big nerfs. I really don't think lethality items got big nerfs. And I think, for example, a build, like, you can just substitute Yumus for Opportunity and then go Collector and then like adapt your build from there. And Hubris on Jhin is really crazy because he has so like if you buy AD on Jhin, it's more AD than it is, right? Because his passive is so much AD. So if you go like Hubris Opportunity, that's just so much damage. Then we got Jinx. Jinx, I feel like probably I'd say goes into B tier. Maybe I'm a bit harsh on her. She's better in solo queue than Aphelios. Probably. She's easier to play. The thing is, like, okay, what is Jinx struggling with right now? She's pretty weak into lethality ADCs. She can't really buy defensive or armor, and she can't really abuse lethality herself. She does still scale really well if she gets the 3 items, but she needs to get the 3 items, and the game is pretty snowbally right now, and crit items are pretty weak, I think. She also can't really buy static shiv, which is like Stormish and Kraken I think are both a bit weaker. I'd say I put her into B tier. I think I'm pretty comfortable putting it into B tier. Hwei bot. I think Hwei bot is really fucking strong. I would feel pretty comfortable putting him into S tier. If we need AP on my team, I feel like Hwei is really fucking good, and he's gotten buffed so many times now. So I feel comfortable putting him into S tier. I think he, like, if you play Hwei against Draven, Hwei against Aphelios, Hwei against Jinx, you're gonna stomp them. You're gonna stomp them, like literally stomp them. And then we got Lucian. Now this is a bit of a tricky one because Lucian with Milio and Nami is kind of different from without Milio and Nami. But I think I feel comfortable putting him into A tier. I think just overall the champion is pretty good, even without Milio and Nami now. Like, Essence Reaver got buffed, you can rush that, and I think that's pretty good. Essence Reaver or even Kraken first, you're gonna be doing good damage. And there's also the Voltaic Cyclo Swords build if they're really squishy. Has some versatility there. Overall pretty good, I think. We got Kalista A or B. She has still really good matchups and really good laning phase, and she can snowball really hard. I think she'll be way stronger next patch with the Terminus buffs. Excited to see how that unfolds. She's not great into tanks, but she's good into a lot of the lethality ADCs, because she can like bully them into lane, bully them in lane, and not let them scale, which most other ADCs can't. So I'd feel comfortable putting her in low A. Then we got MF. I think she's A tier 2, somewhere along here. Really good with lethality and just does a lot of damage. Very similar to Varus. We got Samira, very support reliant. She got nerfed a little bit with the lethality nerfs. I'd put her into B tier. If she has the perfect comp, she's S tier. If not, she's pretty fucking weak. She needs good support, needs good engaged support. She needs low CC on enemy team. She needs no Poppy. If there's a Poppy in the game, she's useless. Hey Jack, sorry to bother when you're doing like important things, but I discovered this super funny show about like a young guy and an old dude who's super smart, and he freaking turned himself into a pickle, lol.
Pickle Rick!
Okay, Seraphine, everybody's favorite. I do believe she's probably S, no? I'm not putting Seraphine in Z tier. Fuck off. Sivir. Fuck, this champ's so fucking useless. Smolder. I think S tier. I think it's fucking OP. I think like this, I'm happy with. For me, the only Z tier champ is Varus. This champion, I just like, I get AIDS. Every time I lane versus it, I get AIDS. I get AIDS lane against Varus. Not in game, freak. Not in game. What the fuck is this champion? Why does his Q do 500 damage? Why does his E do 600 damage? Why does his ult do everything? Why can he go 2 different builds and both are fucking strong? I hate it. Then we got Nilah. I haven't seen that champion in ages, bro. I feel comfortable putting Nilah in A or B. Let me think here. A or B. I haven't seen her. I genuinely don't think I've played a single game into Nilah this season. People have told me it's pretty good with lethality items. The winner, it doesn't look bad. New tier? Edit tiers. Nilah. Sure. Vayne, A tier. Definitely weaker than last season. I think you can also go lethality on it if they're really squishy. Sure, but I think I want to put her S, actually. I think I want to put her S. Zeri, I think A tier now. I think I feel comfortable putting her A tier. She feels pretty good. Just, I think she's good with static shiv into IE, into BT or LDR. That's the build I've been having the most success with, and I think the new static is way better. Like, it's a big buff to her. I haven't really tested experimental hexplate, but that could be an option. Overall, it just seems like a pretty good champ. You can field both buffs a lot, the AD buff and the ult cooldown. So overall, it just feels pretty nice. And then we got Twitch. I think Twitch is ass. I think Twitch is kind of like Jinx right now, but you can cheese some more kills. I'm down to put him at the top of B tier. You can cheese kills with him. You can get ahead, you can snowball, but it's hard to farm. You have so bad wave clear. Maybe AP is pretty decent. Twitch top of B tier. I feel comfortable putting Twitch top of B tier. Kog'Maw stays in D tier. Champ sucks ass. Weak into literally every other champ on this list. Should get a rework. Needs a new passive. Just a heads up, freak. What is the worst thing a hyper carry can do? You tell me, freak. Tell me, okay? Little quiz for you, freak. My hyper carry should absolutely not, let's say it together, should absolutely not die, right? Because if he dies, he can't output damage anymore, and you don't want your hyper carry to do that. So why does Kog'Maw only have a passive if he dies? Tristana, I think B tier, just like whatever. Better on mid, fine in bot lane. If you're a good Tristana player, you can make it work. You can make some magic happen. Xayah, low B tier. Actually, I mean, she's like situational, right? She's pretty bad into lethality. Xayah's in Nilah tier. I'm gonna put her in Nilah tier. Just to fucking confuse people. Okay, and then we got Karthus. I don't know how good bot lane Karthus is. I know he got buffed. Doesn't look too crazy in gold plus. Let's see how it's doing in emerald plus. Definitely a little bit better. B tier, no. It's just like whatever. I don't really care about Karthus. Ziggs, I think B tier as well. But it's 0.3% pick rate. It's 1,000 games. I can't take anything from this. These mages are just whatever, I think. These 2 mages I think are way better. So I'm just gonna leave them in B tier. DF bot, I don't think it's good. Actually, you know what? There was one fucking guy I played against Let me see if I can find him. I want to find him. Because he was so fucking bad. I played against him. And I thought to myself, wow, this guy is so bad. What is he doing? And then I looked at his OP.GG. 70% win rate. TF. 100 games. This guy. Look at this game. I'm 18-4 and he goes 9-14. 5 CS a minute. Look at this TF win rate. Fuck. Winning every game on TF. 20% win rate without this fucking 80 TF. He can't win on any other pick. How inflated? How crazy inflated is he? Look at him, 6-10 win, 7-10 win. So yeah, it's going to A tier just because of that guy. Because if that guy could win on it when he was so bad, then you guys can win on it too. Yasuo, Nilah side tier. Maybe. Can I put him into Nilah tier? Yeah, I'm happy with this. I think Yasuo is like, it's like situational. I think this is good. Wait, so let's make it tweak. Let's make it tweak.